Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast today. Excited to be here. I heard Chuck Williams did a fantastic job last week. I mean, he is amazing. So I'm excited to be having him filling in for these. You guys, I actually put the title as Stepping Up to the Plate because quite honestly, we've got a little feedback here. Who said that? We're getting a little ringing. Oh, that was Mark Yarnell, I think. He was so funny. A great of old in our industry. Are you rising up to the occasion? Are you doing everything? Because, I just saw this book that I wrote, and I still believe you can. I believe you can. But the question is, do you believe you can? Because that's really the question. If you're not rising up to the occasion, then I have to go back to why are you doing what you're doing? What is your why? Because that's going to drive you to accomplish any goals that you might have set for yourself. So it's important that we do that, especially now. I know a lot of people are, hey, Chuck. Yes, I wasn't sure if you were planning to be on today. I wish I knew how to split this screen because that would be so awesome. I thought that Facebook was allowing that now. So if anybody has any input on that, or I'm going to ask, because humbly I say to you, I want to really master my YouTube channel. I'm going to use this channel with the help of some of the team to bring motivational content and just direction. Because a lot of times people are not accomplishing all that they set out to accomplish because quite honestly, they don't really know why they're doing it. And of course, then they allow, we've all done it, distractions to get in our way. And right now there seems to be a lot of distractions. So that said, to be clear, I'm looking for help with how to do Facebook better. Not Facebook, YouTube. And the reason I want to know how to do YouTube better is because I feel from that platform I can accomplish a lot of good things because there's a way to split the screen. There's four different, I could have 6 people on, or I don't know if it's 6, but I've seen people do it with 4 people on. So it just allows for a little bit more flexibility, I think, than Facebook does. Plus, it seems to be a little less censored, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're going to keep these lives to suit the team, to really kind of just speak about, like I said, things that motivate, things that direct, things that help people to accomplish all that they say they've accomplished. And then I'm going to take the YouTube platform, and I'm going to use that more for in-depth teaching on the Word of God, or any other controversial thing that might come out and slip it out of my mouth here, that I don't want to offend people here because this is our business platform. So we're going to stay focused on business stuff here. So just, I do need 1,000 followers, I believe it is, on my YouTube channel to go live from my phone, which would give me more flexibility. Otherwise, I do have to do it live from my laptop. So go to my YouTube channel. I think it's just Patty Cepeda, but you know what? You can always check because I've kept my maiden name on a lot of platforms just so that anybody from way back when wants to find me, Patty Lahey Cepeda. I don't go by that, but either one, just check that and just follow me over there on YouTube. That would be fabulous. I put a few things up. I'm just kind of getting started over there, but like I said, I need 1,000 followers to go live from my phone. All right. Awesome. Let's talk about what's going on. What's stopping you? Where are you? Are you at the top of your game? And that's what I'm finding is people are completely allowing every distraction. And it doesn't have to be the current 2020 distraction, because the 2020 distraction could totally be taking your business to a whole new level, right? This distraction, if you want to call it a distraction, is actually working in your favor, because quite honestly, when Herb and I came into Isagenix, what happened was there was a major distraction in the economy. Herb and I were already in a place. So we didn't allow that distraction to bother us because we were already in our own little economical mess. So when we came into Isagenix, we were focused. We had the blinders on, as they say, and there was nothing that was going to get in our way of really accomplishing this. Nothing's changed, guys, as far as an opportunity is concerned, because we have an opportunity right now with a major distraction, but it is causing a lot of people to remove their blinders because of the obviousness of what's going on. But the truth is if you would just focus, put the blinders on, and not think about all of those things, or look to the left or to the right and focus. First of all, why? Write this down. Why are you doing this? Why? What is the reason that you would want to accomplish greatness with a company that is great? This company is phenomenal. Nothing's changed, I started to say before, as far as how they pay us, they've enhanced. There's so much available to anybody that's willing to put the effort out, right? And so what are you doing? Do you like working with people? Maybe that scares you. I don't know. I mean, this is something you have to kind of evaluate on your own. People started all different ways. Herb and I love people. I remember walking through an airport one time, and we're walking along and we're having a good time. We're coming, I forget where we were coming or where we were. I think we were here in Charlotte. And he looked at me, he says, Patty, I love people. I said, I know, me too. I just love people. I think that they're just awesome. They're fun to watch. We can learn so much. I had a professor in college one time. He was pretty goofy, but we really liked him. And he said, he called my friend Pa, because her name, we're both Patricia, but she cut off Pa and called herself Trisha, right? So he called her Pa. And so that's kind of just to give you an idea of what kind of goofy professor he was. And I think he called me Trish. And he said, Trish, he said, there's a lot of humor in the world. All you have to do is look around. And there was something going by on our street that was pretty comical. But the point is we can really sit back and have such a blast with people. And if we love on people and realize that, they are, God made everyone equal. Like they're just beautiful, and he loves them like you would love a baby. Like if we start to look at other people, even if they don't believe the way you believe, that's the key. Because a lot of times, especially now, right, everybody's going like this. Like I just saw a few things coming across my feed here where there's a family feud going on over these types of things. Like, oh my gosh. It's just really unbelievable. And you try to bring love into the picture and help people to realize that, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm not your enemy. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we just love people, you're going to have so much more success in life as a general statement, right? And then as we love people, and if you combine it with what we're doing here with our business, we're actually bringing love and light and hope to a dark and dying world. Two contrasts, right? Light, love, hope into a dark and dying world allows us the opportunity to just speak life to people. People want to be around committed people, but the way that you'll be committed and really head-turning noticeable is leaders perform. They're servant leaders. So they're doing the do. So when you get involved with something, you're getting your hands dirty, you're not caring about, and I'll give you an example in a second, you're not caring about where these people might be, in your business or something like that. It's not like that. You're just truly loving on people. You monitor and guard your time because there's only 24 hours in a day. But yet, Herb and I help everybody everywhere. Like, in other words, it doesn't matter. Like, I remember one time we flew to Maui, and this was for a member on our team that was on a team that was just exploding. I think that for those that are in the know of how this works, I think this position was doing 500 cycles. And we flew to Maui for somebody in that organization. Like, it doesn't matter to us who they are. We're attempting to help people, right? So, and we're meeting people where they're at. So as long as we're not pushing our agenda on people and you have no attachment to the outcome, write that down, please. No attachment to the outcome. Please write that down. That's going to help any of you that hate sales. If you hate sales, that's really going to help you out because there is no attachment to an outcome. You're simply helping other people, but you're not pushing your agenda on the other people. Does that make sense? So you're actually sharing with them. They say they want health, they want wellness, they want whatever. Like, for example, my daughter just said, it's 2020, mommy, you can just do anything with your hair. I said, really? Because it was really getting on my nerves. So I went downstairs, I had my scissors. I went downstairs and she was missing, but Herb was not. So I said, babe, you want to just trim the back of my hair? Now I have straight hair. This is dangerous. You don't do this with straight hair, right? Yeah, I can do it. So he trims the back of my hair. And then I take it and I'm trimming the front. My hairstylist, I hope she's not watching. She's going to have a fit. But it was getting so long, right? In 2020, we can do anything. I don't know why I'm off on this tangent. I'm laughing because, then we had friends over they're here from Africa, and they're just so sweet. We support this ministry. They worked a lot with Mike Bickle's ministry, and they've been in Africa now, Jesse and Rochelle Diggs with Send to 56 ministry. That this is amazing what they're doing. And they were here visiting us and with their 3 children. I think they had 2 of them birthed over there. 1 or 2 were birthed in Africa for citizenship. They've got a couple schools in Kenya and Uganda, and they're doing a great work, but they've been back in the States due to this pandemic. And so they were here, and she kind of fixed me up. So she went in and did a little something. Why did I go off on that tangent? Somebody help me out. You guys got to help me out. There was a reason I went off on that tangent. Now I don't know what it is, but I'll remember it. That's kind of how I roll. You got to stay on your toes with me. But I'll tell you, I believe that people right now are looking for an opportunity. I was talking about, to make sure that you are focused on helping the people with what they want. So if they want to lose body fat, they want to get healthy, they want to get well, then we focus on those things. If we are looking at people and they're looking for a way to make some extra money from home, then we focus on those things. But we don't push that on them. If they've told me that they're just interested in making money, then you focus on helping them open an account, no different than a Sam's Club account. You open an account, you go to Sam's Club when you want so that you can buy at the wholesale pricing. That's all we're doing. So there's no attachment to that. Like if I told somebody about Sam's that didn't know it and they went and opened an account, there's no attachment to it. The difference is that we're paid to help people open their accounts with this company that's an online store. So that works out perfectly during this, right? Because now I know that everything's opening back up, and that's fabulous. But, but there still are a good number of people out there that are very concerned, and they're not wanting to go out into the whatever, they're concerned about it. This is a perfect way to have the highest quality, most absorbable nutritionals delivered directly to your doorstep, helping to build immune. And P.S., if you haven't been part of, kind of staying in the know, there is a reset of our finances happening under our faces. And so there's a global reset. As that's happening, understand there could be a few hiccups in that. And I believe that it's going to be smooth. But again, it can't be possibly seamlessly smooth. So it's always good to have some food on hand, right? And these, we have canisters of the highest quality whey protein. Who get back in touch with whoever might have invited you to this feed. But I'll tell you, or if you just stumbled upon it and we're friends on Facebook, you certainly can private message me to hear more, and I can send you a link, and you can open up your customer account for free. It's that simple. I mean, guys, is that wild or is that what? I mean, it's free. You don't have to order every month. There's no commitment whatsoever. But right now with this global reset that's going on, it's just, it's amazing. They're looking to have this happen. I actually was speaking to somebody because I was praying about this because I keep hearing all these people's debts have been forgiven. By the way, private message me if this has happened to you. Student loan debt forgiven. Mortgages forgiven. What? Why? Because it's like there's a time of jubilee in front of us because of what's happening with the global reset, what's coming down, and that's why there's a lot of turbulence right now. There's a lot of hatred at our POTUS because the central bank has been the culprit, causing us to be in a really state of slavery. They loan money that's not backed by gold, and then they charge us interest. And you wonder why we're in a mess, right? So this scheme has been going on since the early 1900s, and anybody that's ever tried to attempt to do anything about it has, been taken out. So that's why I keep your prayers going. But what's happening is this happens, and we look to maybe even, because, of course there's an online system you can go through, I don't want to go off on a major tangent, but I think that the goal of the president is to really have it be more of staying with the fiat system, staying with the monetary system that's backed by gold. So there'll be a dollar backed by gold per every dollar put out in circulation, and there'll be a transferring of that. So just understand there is something like this that's happening. I'm not getting into it on this call. This is something I will get into more detail. I do have all the details on this, to my knowledge, and a lot of research when I go live on YouTube. That's why it's important to follow me on YouTube, and you'll get a notice. You want to like it, and then you'll get a notice every time I'm live. So, and I'm not putting out when I'm going live just yet, because right now I'm just kind of doing my research and putting stuff up. So anyway, all that to say, it's important to have something on hand. And so I just feel so confident to have this on hand. And we actually sent off our friends that are here visiting from Africa with some more stuff so that they could have some stuff as they're moving from place to place. They're going into Atlanta and they're visiting some people, and they're kind of bringing and sharing what they're doing and raising funds because of what they do over in Africa, a major move. And that's something that's just driving them, guys. But yet, on the other hand, to have these delicious you actually get more nutrition in one shake than you do a whole meal here. It's just so valuable to them. As a matter of fact, it's funny because when they're here, that's, the primary thing that Jesse would always get a shake, and I was thinking that because we were eating food. And so anyway, I sent him off with shakes. I should have offered him a shake. Another thing I wanted to point out is it's important at this point in time to be at the top of what we do. If you're not meaning you're not competing with other people and stepping on people to get to the top of what we do, but become excellent at what we do. Do everything in a spirit of love. Stand with righteousness. Stand with what the word of God says, right? If we all lived by the word of God, peace, love, joy, happiness, patience, self-control, to go through all of that and to understand that we're in a timeline as we're in the church age moving into just the whole scheme of things. It's very exciting where we are in history right now, and to know that we're making a difference in the world. So stand with righteousness, stand for life, not death. There's life and death that comes in the power of our tongue. The word says, the Bible says, life and death are in the power of our tongue, and you will eat the fruit thereof. So are you calling forth life and peace and fruit and patience and love? Are you calling that forth with your tongue, even over yourself? Because so often I watch people who they really are speaking death over their own selves, even, or their own families. Or sometimes I've seen people speak death even over their own kids. You're such a slob, or look at this room, you can't, and this can't, and all this kind of stuff. To really monitor, and that's why monitor what you're saying. And that's why Herb and I have always talked about that triad team, or three people. Find two other people that are like-minded, that will egg you on and hold you accountable. And it's important that you're vulnerable. It's important that you can say, yeah, I want constructive feedback. Because if you can accept constructive feedback about what's going on in your life, if somebody says to you, you know what, you're too opinionated, you really need to just be more open, on your triad team. I'm not saying to receive this type of constructive feedback from every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes along. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is there should be a couple people in your life that you can trust that, will help you to see your blind spot. So what's a blind spot? You hear that bird, you guys? He's so loud. The blind spot is what you don't see, but the world sees. So there's a blind spot. And unless you have people in your life that care for you enough to tell you that whatever your case may be, you're coming across your ability, or try to think of something. What would be a good thing for a blind spot? Anyway, if you have something that is not favorable when you're speaking with people, if you have a way about you, or something that you don't listen well, or or something, if you have people that care enough about you to tell you that, then you can grow. Does that make sense? You can grow from that. But if nobody tells you and you still steamroll along and you just, it's my way or the highway or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to think of something and I'm just not coming up with something. I think it's important that you have people in your life anyway that can help you stay in the place where you're growing. And so some people want to complain all the time. That's a good one. Some people want to gossip. It's another good one. So if you're around people like that and you contribute to, for example, gossip, then you're part of the problem. But if you won't gossip, if you won't get into it with them, then, or if you change the subject or you just don't go there, then guess what? Then you're helping them without even saying anything. If it push comes to shove and that's your triad team, you might need to say that, you're focused too much on talking about other people or concerned about what other people are doing. Let's focus on what we're doing, and then you can receive that from people and we've got to have the ability to receive that. If we're constantly speaking death, a lot of people very inadvertently, they don't even think about it. They'll say something like, oh, I'm sick and tired of this, or I'm sick and tired of that. No. You're full of life. Your body is healthy. You're not sick. You're not tired. I have a lot of energy, right? Speak life over your body. And this is stuff that people do just out of habit. But you don't change this habit until it's brought to your attention many times. And that's why I'm saying it's important to have other people that as you put forth goals, if your goals are to become financially independent, then let's call a spade a spade. In reality, are you really doing the do? Some people say, oh, well, I'm going to, and they think the grass is greener over here, so they go jump into a different company even altogether, as if it's going to be any easier over there, when the reality is they're not taking the action steps to have success, if that makes sense. So that's where a triad team would help you to realize, no, you know what, really, let's do the numbers. You have a certain number of maybe accounts you would like to open for the company, and you have this goal written down. Or do you? That's the type of thing. Do you have it written down? How many people are you going to help open their account this month, this week? How many people does it require for you to speak to about it to achieve your goal, right? And then you have that laid out with a couple people that'll help hold you accountable so that you find yourself in a funk. Well, how many people did you speak to about what your goal? How many people did you speak to about helping to open an account this week or today? Or did you reach out to anybody? What do you do? How are you doing it? Are you doing it through online? Are you doing it through social media platforms like this, Facebook, Twitter, whatever way? Are you reaching out to people that way? How many touches have you made? How many people, as we oftentimes say, are on your baseball field? Like they're going first, second, third, fourth, home. How many people do you have investigating the information? How many times have you sent out the video? How many people have you touched base with? When you were at the restaurant and you thought that the waitress was so amazing, or the hostess, or the guy, whatever, somebody you met somewhere. How many people are you saying, hey, you have a fantastic personality. What do you do for work? And then they say whatever they say. And do you ever keep your eyes open for other ways to supplement your income? Or do you ever keep your eyes open for ways to make some very serious money? And then they say, well, no, what do you have? Well, I happen to be expanding a multi-million-dollar a year business into this area, and I'm looking for people with your skill set. Do you ever do stuff like that? How often are you doing that? Or are you allowing somebody who would rock your business just to walk away? Are you allowing that to happen because of fear? Because you haven't practiced. So I just spit that out, but can I share with you how and why that's so simple for me to say to you right now? Because it wasn't. When I was first getting into this industry, we had mentors, and the father was making millions of dollars with the company. And that's not what drives me, by the way. What drives me is the freedom that brings. Right? The ability to be home, to not have had this whole thing even affect us, which is fabulous, to be able to even help other people, right? That's what really drives me. So, But anyway, his daughter was more accessible to us. And I remember listening to something, she was doing a training, and she said basically what I just said. And I was driving along, and I remember it was, this is how long ago it was. It was one of the recording, the cassettes. So I was rewinding the cassette, and she was saying, do you ever keep your eyes open for ways to make some very serious money? Like, I remember like rewinding the cassette while I'm trying to drive and writing it down. And then when I got it on the Post-it note or whatever I had at the time, I ended up putting it on a Post-it note, but I ended up like practicing it in my car while I drove to the place where I was going, so that when I got there, if I saw somebody that I wanted to maybe use this verbiage on, because the tendency is if you don't have it and it's not yours, what you'll do is you'll try to think, your eyes will dart up over here or they'll dart down to the floor, and your eye contact now with your person that you're looking to ask this question to, you've just lost your eye contact. And what you've also lost is your credibility to speak powerfully and with conviction that they realize, man, this person's got something. So you have to have this down. So it requires a little practice. And again, I'm not saying practice and then don't do it. I actually wrote it down and went to the location I was going, and I used it then and there, but I practiced it enough times on the way that I felt comfortable to do that. So if you're not comfortable with verbiage, get comfortable with verbiage. And then if you also have to evaluate, and in closing, what is the, your primary things that you're doing all day? Well, like because there's income producing activities and then there's time wasted. If you're constantly watching things like this, which are good, but you're not using and implementing, or because you could watch a lot of this type of training all day long and do nothing, or you could take the time to organize your desk or whatever. But if you're not taking income producing activities, in other words, reaching out to people and saying, hey, look, I have a way where you can get the highest quality nutrition. There's so many different things. There's sports products that are sports certified. We have the NBA, the NFL using these types of products. So they're very highly scrutinized, or a way to make some supplemental income, whatever the case may be, or helping people open accounts, whatever. Get a little bit of verbiage, focus, and reach out to a certain number of people every single day. But if you're not, then you can't ask, obviously the answer of why you're not helping people enroll open accounts is answered. But yet sometimes that's a blind spot for people, is what we found. We found that people don't want to hear that. But yet you have to be open to hear that. Constructive feedback helps us grow. When we realize that something is a certain way, if you're just focusing on your own thing and your own people, and you're not caring about helping other things, and we've got different teams in our group, in our business, how they grow and all this kind of stuff. And some people just don't even want to help anybody else over on this team because that's not the team they're focused on, or some honky-dory stuff that just doesn't make any sense to me. Then you got to address those people, because that's part of the reason they're not having success. They're not having success because people see through that all day long. And, again, that's another call. I know we go through a lot of different training calls all week long, and we work with people all week long about all different topics. One of them is the compensation plan. And usually Herb gets that call, and he does a fabulous job. But what happens, or anybody, we rise up master trainers of master trainers. That's level 5 leadership. If you can duplicate yourself through other people and help them to be successful, now you're successful. But again, there's no attachment to it. They have to rise to the occasion. I'm not looking to put somebody in a headlock and drag them across the finish line, right? I'm looking for motivated people, so they have to show up. But it's a touchy place, because you still want to be involved and help them to understand what it is they have in their hands. They need to be plugged in, or there needs to be a gentle sowing of seeds, not pushing. Because if you push them away. So if you keep talking to them about, for example, the business, but they only wanted to hear about health, you'll push them away. So that's where it becomes more classy than what I see a lot of people doing, which, So I hope this is helping people today. I know I went into a lot. Yeah, Adiana, I see your little note there. The teams of 3, the triad team or 3, just to put people in connection with other people, helps them to also have a place to go if somebody says something stupid to them, because, you know, and then to stay in love about it, but yet to be able to laugh it off and to move on, right? Because we're not looking to convince anybody to do what we do. I just am not. I'm not looking to convince anybody to do what we do. We've got something that's invaluable. We work from home around our family. We're able to make a good supplemental income. Some of us are making a lot of money. Some of us are making, you know, not as much, but it's perfect for them. And, you know, with this revaluation of the monetary system that's happening, it's really going to take us from out of slavery. That's why I choose wisely this time when you're voting. Make sure you're voting for life. Make sure you have the facts, and make sure you're not listening to false narrative that's been out there. And it's really eye-opening. It's a lot of stuff that's eye-opening, you know. Turn off the TV, really. Find your information elsewhere. So anyway, again, follow me on YouTube. I think it's Patty Lahey Cepeda, but it could be just Patty Cepeda. Follow me on YouTube, and then you'll hear I get deeper on my YouTube channel when I go live over there. I just glanced at my clock. It's time to say so long for now. And let's go out and ask ourselves, who can I help today? Do everything in a spirit of love. Focus on other people. Love. Did I say love? Help other people. Focus on love, sharing, hope. Bring hope into this dark and dying world. Guys, I love you guys. Let's go out and ask yourself, who can I help today?